Welcome to the 2018 Rallye du Maroc. One of the most popular events on the Rally Raid calendar, this year's New Look edition begins in Fez, the oldest of Morocco's imperial cities. This year's Rallye du Maroc will set off from Fez and then head to the desert. We'll go south to Erfoud, the dunes and the sand, crossing the Atlas and Erashidia. It's all part of the magic. We want to showcase the diversity of Morocco, the plains, the mountains and the desert. It was important for us to show everything that this country has to offer. Well, for the bikes, this will be the fifth and final stage of the FIM Cross Country Rallies World Championship, and it's all still to play for. Honda have won the last two rallies, with Kevin Benavides taking victory in Chile and Paulo Gonçalves triumphing in Argentina. Ricky Brabec and Nacho Cornejo complete an all-star lineup. KTM have won the last four rallies in Morocco. 2016 winner Toby Price looks best placed to continue that run. He's second in the World Championship standings. Sam Sunderland looking to boost confidence after an injury-hit season, while last year's winner Matthias Walkner is out to defend his crown. Well, the man currently leading the way is Pablo Quintanilla. He tops the pile on 69 points and is looking to secure the World Championship title for the third successive year. Even teams not concerned by the World Championship battle have come along for the ride. Yamaha have sent Adrian van Beveren, Xavier de Sultre and Franco Caimi to scrap it out with the best in the business. Hold on to your hats, because it promises to be a spectacular ride. When it comes to the cars, there is only one man to beat in Morocco. Nasser Al-Attiyah is gunning for a fifth consecutive victory in his Toyota Hilux.
I'm happy. This is my favorite rally, you know. It's nice atmosphere here, nice country, you know. Now with the new baby, the new car for this race, we'll see, and we try to do our best and to win 5 times.
Al-Attiyah lining up alongside Giniel de Villiers. But the big news this week is that 3 former Peugeot stars, Carlos Sainz, Cyril Desprez and Stefan Petterhansel, have joined Mini. The reigning Dakar champion can't wait to get started.
It's a new adventure, new team, new car, new challenge, of course. But I like, you know, to start working with a new car and with a new team, and I'm really happy. We have been working hard. The car is really going well.
Sainz will be joined by Desprez, a 2-time winner of the Silkway Rally with race organiser David Castera. As for Petterhansel, he will be headlining the SSV category, driving a Yamaha alongside his wife Andrea. Well, I'd love to take the steering wheel now and then, but I don't think it would really make sense because Stefan is obviously a faster driver. And I'm not sure that he's really cut out for being a co-driver. So yes, I'll be the one sitting on the right-hand side. On stage 1, the bikes, quads and SSVs will be racing against the clock for 166 kilometres over 2 special sections. The cars and the solitary truck will tackle 192 on a separate route with over 500k to cover in total. Well, KTM's Toby Price won the prologue and opted to set off in 15th place with teammates Matthias Walkner and Sam Sunderland just ahead of him. Slovakia's Stefan Svitko was the first man on the track. Yamaha's Xavier de Sultre also among the early risers on his way to 6th place. But it was the Honda and KTM boys who dominated on the opening day. Ricky Brabec in 5th place. And just ahead of him, teammate Paulo Gonçalves, the highest place of the Honda riders in the World Championship standings, in 3rd. But the men in red could do nothing to tame the orange armada of KTM. The Austrian giants taking the top 3 spots, with Sam Sunderland on the bottom step of the podium. The 2015 winner was just over 6 minutes off the pace. Matthias Walkner taking 2nd place, the Austrian looking very comfortable and only losing a shade under 3 minutes. But no doubting the top dog at the start of this Rallye du Maroc. After his victory in the prologue, Toby Price made it 2 from 2 in this first stage. The Australian taking a handy bonus point in his bid to unseat the World Championship leader Pablo Quintanilla, who lost over 21 minutes. But elsewhere there was drama as one of the rally's big favourites crashed out. Honda's Kevin Benavides, who was sitting fourth in the World Championship standings, falling heavily after 335k. The Argentine swiftly transferred to hospital in Erechidea.
We came here, we knew we are not on front. Actually, we were third and fourth running. And of course, if you can get a good result, always is welcome, but with no pressure, let's say, just to be healthy, let's say, for that guy. But unfortunately, this crash happened, and nobody wants, of course. So let's see how it goes from now on.
Luckily for Benavides, no major damage done, just some serious bruising, so he'll only be out of action for a couple of weeks. And Benavides wasn't the only one in the wars in this opening stage. Quad rider Pavel Otvanovsky fracturing his wrist after this nasty crash. Help arriving in the form of Polish compatriot Rafał Sonik, whose chances of winning this year's World Cup were ended by injury himself earlier this year. Russia's Alexander Maximov is the man set to take the crown. Here is Stefan Petterhansel getting underway in the SSVs. The 13-time Dakar winner will be back in a Mini in January, but here in Morocco he's racing for Yamaha alongside his wife. He was fourth on the first stage, just over 8 minutes back. This is football coach André Villas-Boas, who's racing for Germany-based team South Racing. The Portuguese has made several outings this year, but he lost around an hour here. Former Dakar quads winner Sergei Kalyakin pipped to victory by compatriot Alexander Dorozinski. Now, if Jakub Przonski can make it to the end of this rally in the cars, he'll be crowned FIA World Cup champion. The Pole's been in excellent form this year with wins in Dubai, Qatar, Italy and Poland. Having a bit of fun here with Mini's Cyril Desprez on a tough opening stage. Przonski would eventually come fifth on the day, with Desprez and his new co-driver Jean-Paul Cottret in 7th. Carlos Sainz also getting to grips with the new John Cooper Works buggy. El Matador just ahead of his teammates in 6th place. Now Martin Prokop is another driver who's had an excellent season. The Czech is running third in the World Cup standings. A solid effort from him to come in third on the stage. Nasser Al-Attiyah, of course, is Mr. Morocco, going for his 5th consecutive win. Qatari had a couple of mechanical problems in the first special, but he recovered to finish 2nd, and he remains the overall leader.
We find ourselves 2nd place. Today it was not bad, and we won last 4 years, and I would like to repeat and to win 5 times.
Well, in the end, Al-Attiyah actually claimed the stage victory. It had originally gone to Bernhard ten Brinker, but the Dutchman missed a waypoint and dropped down to 10th place after being handed a 20-minute penalty. Stage 2 takes the bikes, quads and SSVs on a 316-kilometre loop around Erfoud with 280 against the clock. A shade more for the cars and the truck with 328k of special section on the menu. Well, after getting the good news about Kevin Benavides and his lack of any broken bones, Honda were looking to close the gap on KTM in this 2nd stage. They managed to lose a little bit of time though. Paulo Gonçalves just over 7 minutes back in 6th place. Ricky Brabec had a better day, the American in 4th. And some incredible scenery here in the Sahara Desert, providing the riders with a spectacular playground. Franco Caimi came in 5th on the day. The Argentine will be happy with the pace of his Yamaha. And how about the man at the top of the World Championship standings at Pablo Quintanilla? A little off the pace in the early part of the rally, the Chilean was 3rd on this stage. Well, KTM had been heading for another 1-2-3, but Sunderland lost over an hour after the bib mousse inside his tyres melted. He was also given a 1-hour penalty for missing a waypoint, so the Englishman's chances of overall victory going up in smoke. Toby Price was targeting a third victory in 3 days, but he got a little bit turned around at one point. The Aussie losing a couple of minutes and allowing his teammate Matthias Faulkner to close the gap. The Austrian, last year's winner here, went on to take the stage win by 2 minutes and 46 seconds, closing the gap on Price to just 12 seconds overall. Stage 1 winner Alexander Dorozinski opening the piste for the SSVs. The Russian was running nicely until late in the day, but he eventually lost around 20 minutes. Similar story for his compatriot Sergei Karyakin, but he limited the damage to just 11.5. Gerard Faris motoring along very nicely on his Can-Am Maverick, the Spaniard coming third on the day to seize the overall lead. Portugal's Mario Ferreira, one of the quickest men in the field, meanwhile with an impressive second place. But the victory went to American youngster Austin Jones, whose co-driver, Dirk von Zitzewitz, won the Dakar with Giniel de Villiers back in 2009. As for Stefan Petter-Hansel, he came in fourth on the day, and he only trails by 5 minutes and 49 seconds overall.
For me, I am in the family Yamaha since a long time, so it's really easy with Yamaha to do the race like this one. And after I will be back with a Mini. I can say that Mini Yamaha is a toys, and the Mini will be a real car for racing.
Well, onto the cars, and Chinese driver Wei Han is here in Morocco in his Geely buggy. Certainly an easy one to spot. Moving up into the top 5 overall. Another solid effort from Martin Prokop, the Czech eyeing up second place in the FIA World Cup standings after Vladimir Vasiliev retired with a melted gearbox. With the Russian out, Jakub Brzezinski is guaranteed to secure the World Cup crown with an unassailable lead over third place Prokop. Cyril Depre seems to be getting to grips with his new mini buggy. The Frenchman second on stage 2 with Jean-Paul Cottret, Stefan Petter-Hansel's long-time co-driver. But once again, the win went to the master of the dunes, Nasser Al-Attiyah. The Qatari coming in over 9 minutes clear to increase his overall advantage to 15 minutes and 5 seconds. Two separate routes on stage 3, with the bikes, quads and SSVs going one way to their marathon bivouac and the cars and solitary truck going the other. Just over 300 kilometres for all vehicles to cover. Well, plenty for the bike riders to think about in this third stage, with no mechanical assistance at the end of the day. Stefan Svitko looking on decent form and coming in 8th, around 10 minutes off the pace. Yamaha's Xavier de Saultre won last year's Merzouga Rallye, so he's very familiar with these dunes. He came in 7th. Adrian van Beveren still working his way back to 100% after a serious crash at the Dakar. He was 9th on the day. But the two Frenchmen once again outdone by their Yamaha teammate Franco Caimi, the Argentine 5th for the second day running. Pablo Quintanilla starting to slip through the gears. The World Championship leader 4th on stage 3, just over 5 minutes down. Ricky Brabec, the highest placed of the Hondas, tightening his grip on 3rd overall. The American just 2 minutes off the pace, whereas teammate Paulo Gonçalves lost almost half an hour. Toby Price knocked off top spot after he came in 6th. The Aussie losing around 6 minutes to his KTM teammate Matthias Faulkner. The Austrian, last year's winner here, moving into the overall lead, and he's still in with a chance of winning the Cross Country Rally's World Championship. But the stage victory went to Sam Sunderland, who will have been frustrated after losing 2 hours on stage 2. The Englishman setting off 16th and ripping through the field to win by 1 minute and 38 seconds. Now, there haven't been too many quads competing here in Morocco, but this man, Alexander Maximov, will be celebrating at the end of the rally on Tuesday. The Russian won stage 3, he leads the category overall, and he's guaranteed to secure the World Cup crown. Onto the SSVs, where it's all still to play for. Stefan Petter-Hansel and his wife Andrea moving up to 3rd overall, Mr. and Mrs. Dakar in 4th place on the stage. Not such a good outing for Gerard Fares. He lost the overall lead after shipping 18 minutes. It's Sergei Kalyakin who now leads the way after his Stage 3 victory. The Russian hitting the gas in the latter stages to come in ahead of the Stage 2 winner Austin Jones, with Portugal's Luis Moraes rounding out the top three. Here's Eric van Loon taking us into Stage 3 in the cars. The Dutchman, fourth at Dakar 2015, is certainly enjoying himself here in Morocco. He was fifth on the day. Carlos Sainz started brightly, but he ended up having more trouble with his gearbox, losing a great deal of time. His mini teammate Cyril Desprez faring better, but he still came in over 19 minutes down on the day's winner. Bernhard ten Brinker looking to bounce back after a series of punctures on Stage 2, but the Dutchman lost his way on a couple of occasions and had to settle for 9th. Yasser Seyadan, the green car on the left here, has really come to life on these dunes. The Saudi battling for position with Martin Prokop. T3 World Champion in 2013, Seyadan eventually came third on the stage, 3 minutes ahead of the Czech. Nasser Al-Attiyah has been dominating in the cars thus far, but he had to settle for second place on Stage 3, even if he retains a healthy lead overall.
I'm very happy that Nasser's leading the race. A very difficult day today is for the navigation. So Nasser opened the road, and in the sand dunes in Mazuga, it looks like Progonsky caught Nasser, and afterwards never let him go.
Well, it was exactly as Glyn Hall described. World Cup winner Jakub Progonsky putting in an excellent turn to take the stage victory by 3 minutes and 20 seconds. Well, things haven't been going Carlos Sainz's way here in Morocco. After being slapped with a 50-hour penalty on Stage 2, the reigning Dakar champion was given another 70 hours on Stage 3 after more mechanical issues. He is nevertheless pleased with the pace of his mini buggy.
We have again a problem with the gearbox, and also inflate-deflate system give us some trouble, but if not in pure speed, I was happy. We were coming fast.
Well, there was a change of scenery for the bikes at the end of Stage 3 as they made their way to the marathon bivouac. No team assistance permitted, but a chance to catch up with the other riders and spend a convivial evening under the desert stars.
But it's good, this is good.
We're halfway through the rally between two stages, which are pretty similar to what we've seen in the first few days. Lots of navigation, similar notes and changes in direction. We have to be very focused on the roadbook, but also try to enjoy the race.
In the end, it's nice to be here with all the people, and I have no issues on the bike, so it's not a big drama, but it would be nice if the car guys would also visit us here and not just the motorbikes.
It's always good to slow down a little bit. You know, the first 3 days we were going full gas in the hard piste and with many dangers. So yeah, if we can ride the dunes, I think it's good. You know, it was a little bit slower, more navigating, so I think it'll be fun.
Con lo cual, todos los
For the third and final loop around Airfood, the bikes, quads and SSVs will head down the route taken by the cars on Stage 3 and vice versa. Just under 300k to cover from the marathon bivouac, a shade more for the cars and truck. So the bikes heading out for a final day in the dunes around Mazuga. And there was disaster for Yamaha's Franco Caimi as he crashed just 5 kilometers from the finish line. The Argentine taken to hospital where it was confirmed that he had broken his femur. Absolutely no stopping Toby Price as he rocketed to the Stage 4 victory. The Aussie was fully 7 minutes clear of Pablo Quintanilla, who has been battling illness this week. The Chilean gritting his teeth as he looks to hold on to his 8-point World Championship lead. Sam Sunderland motoring along nicely after his Stage 3 victory. KTM man out of the running for the overall victory, but his pace looking good, especially after he broke his foot in Chile. Nacho Conejo set to finish as the rally's top junior rider, while Honda teammate Ricky Brabec is third overall. And despite losing time, Matthias Walkner remains second overall and still has a chance of defending his crown here in Morocco. Onto the SSVs and a nightmare outing for Austin Jones, who was just over 2 minutes off the lead, the American crashing out after a double front roll in the dunes. Sergei Karyakin taking full advantage to extend his overall lead to over 12 minutes. The Russian was second on the stage. Well, the victory went to Gerard Fares, the Spaniard navigating a tricky stage to come in around a minute and a half clear of Karyakin, moving up to second overall. And Stefan Petterhansel also running into trouble. The Frenchman was forced to spend the night in the desert due to a broken shock absorber. Onto the cars, another testing day for Bernhard ten Brinker. The Dutchman's Toyota ended up on its side 18 kilometres from the finish line. He lost nearly an hour. A clean drive though from Martin Prokop to stay fourth overall. Nasser Al-Attiyah, the master of the dunes, catching up with Jakub Brzezinski, and the Pole couldn't match the Qatari's pace over the sand. Overall leader Al-Attiyah second on the day, with World Cup champion Brzezinski in third. But it was Cyril Desprez who claimed the stage victory, his first in the new Mini Buggy. Martin Matchik is the only truck driver here in Morocco, but the Czech rolling along very nicely. He and his Big Shock racing crew on course to claim victory in the open class, which is for both cars and trucks. A bit of everything for this fifth and final stage, heading from the desert up into the mountains and then back to the gravel. 197 kilometres for everybody to cover except the solitary truck of Matzik. So a final spin for the bikes on the road north to Fez, and KTM looking to finish the job, take their fifth consecutive win in Morocco. While Sam Sunderland was out of the running overall, he has been impressed with this 2018 edition of the rally.
I like to say a really good job to the organisation. Is really an example for some of the others, and it's nice to see this good spirit in the rally raid, and yeah, really positive and happy.
Now, Pablo Quintanilla hasn't been at 100% this week. Struggling with illness, the Chilean wasn't really able to defend his World Championship lead as he might have liked. Still, he did come in fourth overall. An excellent third place overall for Ricky Brabec. The American, the most consistent of the Hondas this week, even went out on a high note with the Stage 5 victory. But this Rally du Maroc has been all about one man, Toby Price. After two stage wins, the Aussie came second today to ensure his overall victory ahead of KTM teammate Matthias Walkner. He also leapfrogged Quintanilla to win the FIM Cross Country Rally's World Championship.
Yeah, it's been a crazy old week, and yeah, to come out with a first for the rally, I think, and the overall, it's yeah, unreal. So I'm over the moon and so stoked.
Price winning by 7.5 minutes from Walkner, with Brabec completing the podium. So the Australian turned out to be the toast of Morocco, claiming both the rally victory and his first World Championship title. Over in the SSVs, victory went to Sergei Karyakin. The first Russian to win the Dakar in the quads, the 27-year-old has now added another impressive line to his CV. Karyakin winning by almost half an hour from Gerard Fares, with Luis Morais, Claude Fournier and Ahmad Akawari making up the top five. It's been a good rally for Cyril Desprez in the new Mini Buggy. The Frenchman lost a bit of time while his teammate Carlos Sainz was winning stage 5, but still held on to third overall. Jakub Brzezinski will be looking forward to celebrating his World Cup title after an impressive showing in Morocco. The Pole completing a sensational season by ensuring that he finished second in the rally.
We are so happy of winning the World Cup. It was hard year for us. It was almost 100 hours in the car on the race stage, around 40 days of racing stages, and we did really good. We started from Russia in the snow and we finished now in Maroc.
But unsurprisingly, it was Nasser Al-Attiyah who dominated in the dunes, leading the rally from wire to wire. The Qatari proving that he remains the man to beat over the sand as he claimed a 5th consecutive victory here in Morocco.
It was a good victory, you know. We win 5 times a row. I'm really quite happy, you know, with the performance of the cars. So thank you for David, the organization of Morocco Rally. It was fantastic, you know. Never in my life I see like this rally, you know.
The gap 16:41 between the top two. Dupre and Martin Prokop over half an hour back, with Ronan Chabot a distant 5th. So Przonski and Al-Attiyah also getting the chance to celebrate. Thanks very much for joining me, Andy Smith, and the rest of the team for this 2018 Rallye du Maroc. We hope that you've enjoyed all of the action, and do tune in again next year.
You got it to my sister.